Hey guys, welcome back. I'm your host, Lex. This is Mom Gone Mild. And today is officially the 10th episode. So that means that if you want, go back, catch up, binge watch episode 1 through 9. You know where it's at. And yeah, so we have covered a lot of partying on this podcast, the wild years, the chaos, the stories, postpartum, anxiety, depression, but today is a little bit different. Today is another part of me. I really don't talk about this part of me whatsoever. So I don't even talk about this really to my close friends, to be honest. But I just want to get untoxic because over in here, we're planning ahead, we're moving forward. We're in this whole era of like soft girl era. And with March coming around, I thought it would be the best time to start 75 hard and just a wellness journey. I can't step into this without being honest and telling you guys where I've been. So before you get into this episode, I do want to give a gentle reminder that this episode will be talking about eating disorders, addiction, mental health, and postpartum body image. If those topics feel sensitive for you right now, please take care of yourselves and skip this episode. If needed, I promise I won't get mad. So let's just get into it. Today, I'm sharing my history with bulimia, addiction, and a relationship with my body. So, all right, let's get into it. I remember being 10 years old in a Weight Watchers meeting. Yeah, 10 years old. I was literally sitting there. I remember we would do like weekly weigh-ins and just like kind of like give updates throughout what we were going through that week. And I remember sitting there and being like, I just feel like this is so off for like a 10-year-old. I feel like I should be out having fun. I should be out with my friends. But no, I was already so focused on my weight, my body image. And yeah, if you grew up in the early 2000s, you know that era was freaking brutal. Skinny was everything. I mean, what was in like low-rise jeans, flat stomachs, belly button piercings, basically tabloids that would zoom into celebrities, cellulite. I just remember like skinny was in. And if you were anything basically above like 6'8", you were considered fat. Yeah, I know. It was definitely that era it's just like so different from like what we're in now. It's like everything's about body, positivity and just it's so crazy because coming from the other, time, we didn't have that. And we didn't have like this whole basically people accepting how you look and just seeing past, your weight. And yeah, it was hard. It got even harder when I was older, I feel like, because I would surround myself with a lot of like tall, gorgeous girls that were super skinny. And was I fat back then? No. I was literally like, I'm going to be honest, I was like a size 8. But the messed up thing is that back then that was considered fat. So yeah, bulimia became a part of me. It became a way of me kind of taking control back. It's because I can control the amount of food that I would intake and then everything that I would, output. So yeah, if I couldn't control life, I could control food, which was huge to me. That's just the kind of relationship I had. I feel like my family never put like any kind of like pressure on me. I put it on myself. So let's be clear with that. No one really pressured me. They just like always were there for me. And I just remember like when I was younger, I was like counting calories. I was drinking Slim Fast and like replacing meals. And this was like, sorry to go back and forth, but this was like roughly like around 12 years old. So I was already doing that back then. And yeah, so as you can probably imagine, it got even worse for me as I became an adult. So I was in cosmetology school back then. Literally my meals were Coke, iced coffee, and cigarettes. All the time. I rarely ate, and when I did, it was like a salad, no dressing. And I counted every calorie I put in my body. It was a very toxic relationship. It was a lot of back and forth. It was a lot of roller coaster. It just felt like I was always up, always down. Eventually, Coke became way too expensive. So I ended up, doing worse things, cheaper things. And that's kind of where I started feeling good, because I started feeling like, okay, the weight's literally coming off, because I wasn't eating anything like at all. Like I would have to force myself because I would get like so nauseous and dizzy. And then I started getting a lot of compliments, like, you look amazing. You lost so much weight. How did you do it? And I just remember that how did you do it always scared me, because I'm like, I'm not really going to sit here and tell people how I did it. So I would make up this complete crazy lie, counting calories, which I did, but it was like staying like, just like on this path of like working out, things like that. And yeah, I would go to the gym, but that was more like kind of just to cover up what I was really doing. And yeah, I was really sick. It wasn't discipline. It wasn't confidence. It was absolute self-destruction. And honestly, the hardest part wasn't even the weight loss or like my body image. It was honestly hiding things from my loved ones. I was so secretive. Addiction makes you lie even when you don't even know you're lying, to be honest. It makes you disappear emotionally before you physically disappear. I broke a lot of relationships during that time. Friends, I had a boyfriend that it really messed with. And then, my husband now, he found out, and that was like a whole different thing. And it was terrible. But people who genuinely love me, I basically broke all those relationships because I didn't know how to be close to them without telling them the truth about my day-to-day, to be honest. So I kind of pushed them away. And when you're hiding something, you are not present. So it's basically like you are on just automatic, on cruise control. I wasn't real. I was performing normal. I was smiling, showing up, working harder than ever, and which is really crazy because I was high functioning. When I say high functioning, it's not like I would show up to work, I do my stuff. No, like I was honors in school. I went above and beyond when I was working, and I just like accomplished a lot of things. So I think that was like kind of the worst part, because that's why I got away with it for so long, because I wasn't just out partying. I was, taking it literally just to lose weight. So it wasn't like a party drug to me. But yeah, so people never questioned it really. Like I think I remember some people like being like, you lost weight pretty quick. But then like they would see how I'm doing in life and they wouldn't really question it. They were just kind of like, oh, okay, maybe she's stressed or stuff like that. But that's super dangerous because I was obsessed with my next fix. When am I going to get it? How am I going to get it? I went to sketchy places to get it, to pick it up from the sketchiest people. I literally would meet people at hotels. It was just like really bad. I mean, I'm just really glad that like that is done with, because it was so scary. Like, you're in this like kind of mentality of like, you will do whatever it takes to get that next fix, and you don't care. You don't give a shit where you are to get it. Like, you can be meeting a straight up serial killer and you're like, you got it? Okay, cool. Like, I really don't care. Like, that was really scary to me. Like I said, my mind was all over the place. I was constantly calculating, constantly covering my ass, like pretending, just living a double life. And it was so lonely. I wasn't thriving. I was falling apart quietly. I felt like it was like slowly, because since I was so highly functional, I wasn't like physically like, or like showing people how destructive I was being. But like in my head, I can definitely feel like there was nights where, of course, I took so much that I would literally be up the entire night. And then, I would take stuff, downers, to fall asleep. And it was just like a endless cycle, endless. So eventually I hit a point where my now husband, he found out and he told me basically the ultimatum is, you stop, you get help. But yeah, or you continue going, but we're no longer together. And was he my reason to stop? No, but he was a huge part of it, because I personally feel like recovery shouldn't be based on one person, because you never know what's going to happen. And he was a huge part of why I wanted to quit. But definitely I wanted to quit just so I can stop hiding. It was literally like a second job, just hiding and lying, and gosh, it was awful. And yeah, so since I got help, I was off everything. And yeah, so my body once again shot up to gaining weight. And this time it was the heaviest I've ever been. I felt like I hadn't eaten for years. So it just felt like it was catching up to me. And because I didn't just lose the drugs, I lost the identity of being the skinny one. And yeah, I tried so many shortcuts after that. I tried weight loss pills. I tried Ozempic, which I've talked about in the past, but I have hit a plateau with Ozempic, so I'm off of it. I basically tried to do any kind of quick fixes, the cabbage diet, and a bunch of just weight loss pills and pills that made you go to the bathroom, pills, just every kind of diet you can think of. I tried eating. Yes, I did try eating healthy. I did try, obviously, working out. I have gone that route. But with me, it's I didn't get that instant gratification. So it was really hard for me to continue because I felt like if I wasn't instantly gratified, then I was failing. So my addiction now actually moved from drugs to now food. So it's just I feel like it's always a battle. During pregnancy, I didn't feel that at all. During pregnancy, I was fully focused on just being pregnant. I ate healthy. I had my cheat meals, but it wasn't I wasn't kind of so into, my body image. I was trying to just be as healthy as possible being pregnant. But yeah, postpartum now. I feel like postpartum has affected me so much. I never thought I would be like this. I knew that I would have probably some issues because I've already dealt with mental health in the past. I've had issues. So I thought, okay, maybe it'll just be like how it normally is. But honestly, postpartum has hit me so differently. But also, I'm very grateful for this body. It gave me Axel. It gave a safe space for him to grow. It built him. It carried him. It gave me the biggest blessing of my life. I'm super grateful. But it's I have a love-hate relationship because now, even though, okay, so it's an up and down because after I gave birth, I quickly lost the weight. I mean, I lost 50 pounds right away. And I was okay, dang, I feel good. I feel skinny. But yeah, now 6 months into it, I'm starting to get that kind of unhealthy relationship with food again. Every time I get anxious or things don't go my way, I start eating. And yeah, my body is softer, my hormones are all over the place, and my clothes fit differently, which sucks because I actually bought a lot of clothes postpartum because I had lost 50 pounds. So those clothes don't fit me. And so my confidence is probably at an all-time low, but we're working on it. And I read somewhere, I don't know if this is true or not, but I feel like it could be. I mean, 5 years does sound like a lot, but I heard that you don't fully regulate until 5 years after pregnancy. 5 years, I think to myself, I'm great, I'm only into this 6 months. But we are literally expected to bounce back in months. And it's guys in my DMs saying that that my postpartum depression is made up. B, that their wives have bounced back from that, which is great. Applause to you guys, but that's not me. And also, that I should be feeling a certain type of way. And I'm going to be honest, I really don't appreciate it. So if anyone in your life is telling you that you should be a certain way, just know that wherever you are in life is fine. If you're trying to better yourself, that's great. But if you're content with where you're at, that's fine too. But yeah, so that's pretty crazy. But, blocked. And I guess like now you guys are wondering like, why am I starting my wellness journey now? So I'm starting it now because I feel like I'm finally ready to, move forward, because I don't want to start something and, know that I can't finish it, or I don't have realistic expectations. Because I know myself, I'll be even more depressed. I'll be even worse than I was before. So we're starting this wellness journey in March. This is not about getting skinny. This is not about punishing my postpartum body because I love it. This is about discipline without destruction. This is about choosing mental health over self-sabotage, which we do a lot. It's about healing my relationship with food, which has been a long time coming, I feel like. It's just about healing basically my body. I'm trying to get back that control that I feel like I have lost. And is it going to be a struggle? Absolutely, because I've been struggling with this for so long. But yeah, so if any of this part resonates with you, if you struggle with weight loss throughout your life, whether it's when you were young, when you were an adult, postpartum, anything that has basically changed, depression, things like that, just know that you're not alone. You're not weak. You're not crazy. You are not your body size. Healing is harder than starving, to be honest. Recovery is harder than hiding, but it's worth it. And I feel like I have a lot now more to live for, like being a good wife, being a good mom. So I feel like now I'm ready to kind of tackle all these things that I put behind me. Yeah. So recovery, again, it's hard. It's a struggle. And if you are struggling with it right now, please reach out, get help. You deserve support. You deserve love. You deserve all of it. So March is our reset. We're vlogging the journey. We're starting new classes. I may fail. Actually, most likely I will fail. I have my first Pilates class next week. And yeah, I will probably fall on my ass. But yeah, if you want to have a good laugh, if you want, I don't know, just kind of some motivation, if you want, some accountability, we can hold ourselves to that. So stick around. We're doing daily check-ins, we're building mental strength, and we are here for each other because we're going to be doing this together. And Mom Gone Mild is doing its very first giveaway, guys. I know it's going to be a good one. I swear, these prizes I have thought like, what if I just keep them? But no, they're really good prizes and I want to share them with you. I want to, share my appreciation. And yeah, so if you want to join this journey with me, the classes, the healing, the postpartum moments, follow me on Instagram at momgonemild_podcast. You can follow me also on TikTok, momgonemild_podcast. But the giveaway will be on Instagram. That's where I'll be sharing my day-to-day in real time. Follow us so you can enter the giveaway, of course. Or honestly, if you just want to follow and just see what we get into next, come on over. We're getting untoxic over here and we're doing it all together. So guys, happy Friday, Junior. And let's catch up next week, same time, same place.